Alright, got a half hour of memory on the camera, so let's see what we can do. Response video to Andy, sort of, kind of, but not really. He's just going on and on about this guilt thing, and now has it manifested into a complete abstraction. He's not going to give me any real-world examples of how the guilt-ridden have harmed society and how the guiltless have helped society. He's not going to give me anything rational at all. He's just going to keep talking about abstract characters of fiction and of non-fiction, of fiction, and somehow tell me that this is reality. And it's just such a waste of time. Yeah, really. And using words to describe emotions that aren't even in anyone's realm of the emotion. It just has no coherency to the standard definition of the word. Nobody on the street would know what the fuck he's talking about based on his definitions. And it's just, this is just bullshit. But it's all in some kind of veiled attempt to justify some sort of society based on humans doing whatever the fuck they want or something. I don't know. Anarchy? I don't know. It is just crap. So anyway, Irina, beautiful Irina. Anyway, Irina Webb did post a video the other day, very good, so you should go see that. It's long, but it's just a wonderful personal exploration of life's nasty entanglements. That you just can't get you can't hold it. It's all made out of ice. It's all beautiful sculpted ice, and it's going to melt on you. It's going to degrade, and it's going to do it in some kind of horrid, moldy way. And it's just so fundamentally unsatisfactory that that's the deal we have to make for our life. Alright, anyway, some idiot commented on her video. Some drunken idiot just goes on and on, a bunch of ragged, stupid ass fuck comments. Anyway, life isn't what you make it. 100 is determinism, and that's fucking it. So, another one of these idiotic ideas that somehow there's something other. So if I take away your determinism, I take away the controlling factors, what's going to be in control? What did you think is going to happen? That some non-deterministic, non-controlling force is going to come to the rescue? Fairy godmothers are going to make decisions for you? You'll be innately clever? You'll do innately the right thing because the determinism won't be controlling you anymore? I mean, what do you think you're going to do? Where is the freedom going to come from? What is the freedom going to be made of? I mean, it's just so stupid not to realize our intelligence is the product of determinism. Slowly, through incremental building, fundamental structure building, we have gleaned understanding of the world. We've extracted information from it. We have come up with an understanding, intelligence versus ignorance. So we are destroying our ignorance, eliminating ignorance as a controlling factor, stupidity, and becoming something other than stupid, and you see that as a negative. You have no conception that now intelligence is controlling our behavior if we let it, and you find that abhorrent. You find that fucking it. Having the ability to allow intelligence instead of ignorance control our behavior is somehow a fucked game. No, that's a brilliant game. You stupid fuck. I mean, yeah, if I'm going to be controlled by something, I want to be controlled by intelligence, not ignorance. Duh. Jeez. You're just saying, this is why this conversation's impossible. People are just way too dumb to have the conversation. They need to go back to something called a school of some kind. I mean, obviously the traditional schools aren't going to do it. But whatever. I mean, just dumb. I mean, you got to think a little bit. You got to do a little bit of the work. You can't just read Wikipedia pages and dictionary definitions. You actually have to think about words and think about the concepts they represent and see them, visualize them working. And then you'll see that, oh yeah, intelligence is good, ignorance is bad. Feeling good is good, feeling bad is bad. I mean, duh. Alright, anyway. Okay. So getting back to the, well, it's not really the subject. You know, Kafka, he's what he brings up here. And he brings up some sort of circumstance where, you know, I mean, I'll re-metaphor the story, but let's say you are in some way wronged. And it really just depends on what character shows up, right? So let's say Mr. Spock, okay, in full Mr. Spockian, you know, prime, shows up at my cell. I've been wrongly convicted, wrongly persecuted, wrongly tortured, wrongly abused, and Mr. Spock comes up and says, hey Gary, I know it all seems like shit, but it's necessary. This is the way it has to be. I mean, there is a purpose to it. And yeah, maybe you're being scapegoated, maybe you're being ground up for some greater good, but that's just the way it is, and trust me on this one. Yeah, well, I'm going to trust Mr. Spock. Alright? I mean, if my mother shows up with some fairy story, I'm just going to say, fuck you, Mom, you're an idiot. I mean, you're the one that had kids, you fucking retard. But yeah, if it's Mr. Spock, I'm going to say, okay, I get it. Alright? I'm going to be necessarily ground up in the machine, but, you know, that happens every day. Lots of good young men were ground up into fucking hamburger meat in World War II. It wasn't fair, it wasn't right, it wasn't any of these wonderful things. It just plain fucking goddamn sucked. But it was also goddamn fucking necessary. And that's just tough fucking shit. And frankly, I'm not going to feel guilt if I know there's a purpose. If the sense of knowing that if there's some function to it is going to make me feel good, not bad. Knowing there's some greater good accomplished is going to make me feel good, not bad. I mean, this whole argument is stupid. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. On any level does it make any fucking sense. I have no conception of your definition of the word guilt. Okay? The fact is we're born into a world that's broken. That's right. You keep talking as if we're all born into some sort of fair boxing match and everything's okay right from the start. Everything is perfectly clean and we're the only thing that are going to make it dirty. No, that's not the world you're born into. You're born into being King of England. You're born into owning slaves. And what? So you don't have an obligation? If your intelligence tells you, gee, I think this is absolute fucking bullshit. If that's what your intelligence says, this is goddamn evil, you're not supposed to pay attention. Because you're just supposed to live out your life as a slave owner. You're not supposed to see that it's stupid, that it's unjust, that it's unfair, that it's moronic, that it's just plain goddamn unproductive, that it's goddamn cost ineffective, that if the world stays this way, it's a shithole. You're not supposed to listen if your brain tells you that. And it's going to tell you that, man, the burden's on you, fucker. Now you have to fight with not only your parents and your traditions and your family and your people. Yeah, that's right. You're going to have to fight with them. You're going to have to personally compromise your welfare to make it goddamn right. And you're saying that person's an asshole. No, he's not an asshole. You're an asshole. You fuck. I mean, this is just so stupid. Alright, so now getting back to conference report and blah 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 blah, fundamentalism crap, and so now he's using some stupid Apple analogy. And the fact is, though, it's just not a good enough analogy, because there are apples that are bigger. Okay, there's bigger facts in our world, and they're gonna sink to the bottom. That's what they're goddamn gonna do. And sorry, I gotta get rid of this stupid update thing. They're going to sink to the bottom because they're just foundational by their weight, by just their size and their mass and their substance. And so one of those facts is evolution. And the fundamental fact tied to evolution is the word unintelligent design. Unlike us, evolution, a DNA molecule, doesn't have intelligence built in. The creation moment didn't have intelligent judgment built in. The steps of evolution didn't have intelligence navigating the organisms to some sort of game play of fairness and justice and deserve and consent. None of these elements had anything to do with the structure of the design. And they've been acquired by us through this process of having the senses, the tools that were given to us for scheming, and we've taken those scheming tools and we've bent them to self-perception, self-judgments, the judgment of the world itself, perception of the world, gleaning information out of the world, gleaning intelligence out of the world, discovering what the truth is. That's what we've done, and it's a powerful tool, and you know, it's this, and it's huge in the sense that it reveals that yes, the system is built on ignorance. And it's us that has the intelligence. It's us that has to define how the rules should be, because we are capable of knowing them. We're capable of applying the judgment necessary to take something that's chaotic and make it ordered. We can apply efficiency because we can understand efficiency. I mean, if somebody doesn't understand fuel economy, doesn't even understand the concept of gasoline being expensive, and you know, to run a car, then what's the odds of them manufacturing the car to be fuel efficient? Well, the odds are zero. There's no chance whatsoever, because they're going to be guided by a perception of expedience and efficiency that's going to have no conception of the expense of the fuel. And so they're going to take different roads. They're going to take different avenues of engineering because they have no concern for waste. Because they don't recognize the waste. They don't recognize the value of the thing being harmed. So back to Antikantavad, right now there's a chimpanzee or a gorilla even maybe being injected with cancer so we can advance our medicine. What's your Kafka response to that gorilla? Get better, don't be a gorilla next time? You know, don't be a loser controlled by you. Is that your response? I mean, he's unfairly tried, unfairly persecuted, unfairly used to be ground up into our progress. What's your response to it? Fuck you. That's your response, right? Yeah. I have might, I will take. So that's all you're doing. You'll sit there and pretend that's not what you're doing, but it's exactly what you're doing. You're doing exactly what the Europeans did when they took North America, exactly what the Spaniards did when they took South America. You have no respect for any boundaries. You don't. You know, because you have no respect for the thing. You have no recognition of the value of the fuel. You have no. You're just telling Kafka, but you have the wrong genetic code, Mr. Kafka. I couldn't give a fuck about you. I'll use you any way I wish to. And then you're going to give me some empathetic plea for justice to keep the Borg off of us. No, you're the Borg, asshole. You're the Borg. Intelligence isn't the Borg. Recognizing injustice, recognizing unfairness, recognizing the absence of deserve is not the Borg. That's the anti-Borg, you stupid Borgite. And I do mean stupid. Yeah, I mean, I could just say asshole, but yeah, okay, you're just fucking stupid. Anyway. So yeah, we're just talking about this is just the end game is a product. It's built by our function, and efficiency is the mechanism by which you judge. And the point is that all you people have just said these are acceptable standards. We don't have to have fairness, we don't have to have justice, we don't have to have consent, we don't have to have deserve, and we can just take advantage. We don't have to have anything like rational fail-safe, like something you say, well, what do you want from a nuclear power plant? Well, I guess number one, you want fail-safe. Okay, or as close as you can get to it. That would be the first thing. Don't let catastrophe be a possibility if you can eliminate it with a tiny 50-cent extra battery. Fuck. Alright, so I'll just finish up here. Yeah, I have a little bit of a map again. But intelligence finds. That's the real thing here, right? Intelligence makes us capable of seeing imbalances, seeing wrong, seeing inefficiency, seeing dysfunction. That is the whole value of intelligence. The ignorant cannot see these things. They don't have scales to measure with. And that's the value of intelligence. And you people, all of you people, are denying that functionality. Okay, you're rejecting that functionality because you see a few scales out there that basically are going to say, you're not worth quite as much as you think you are. Your bullshit isn't quite as valuable as you would like it to be. And so you're rejecting the entire package of intelligence, perverting it, destroying it, by deliberate manipulations of the facts, by deliberately gold-plating bullshit, deliberately pretending that fundamentals aren't fundamentals. So anyway, I'll link to the Unintelligent design video, because it really is, it says it, right? Precious commodities controlled by crude forces. That's the game we come into, and it's a game that needs to be fixed. Nothing intelligent could play a game like that. It would say, that's stupid, and it needs to be fixed. And if it isn't fixed, if it isn't made better, it's unplayable by intelligence. And you people just are so horny to play, you don't care. You're saying, I'll cut the standard, I'll reduce the minimum standard and say it's okay that it sucks. It's okay if we go with the fucking cheap battery and the nuclear power plants melt down. You're just cutting goddamn corners because it's to your advantage, because you put more life in your pocket, more comfort in your pocket. That's all it's about. Your comfort, your perception of a world that's more pleasant for you to play in, but it has nothing to do with honoring the truth. It has nothing to do with honoring the work that it took to get to the goddamn truth. You're all fucking abominations and slanders to goddamn fucking intelligence, and you're pretending you have some, which is really disgusting. I will quote literature and some other kind of bullshit, and I'll talk about all the books I've read like you fucking learned anything. You haven't learned motherfucking shit. Alright? Unintelligent design. Precious commodities controlled by crude forces. If you haven't learned that, then you're a one dumb motherfucker. Okay. You people are just making evil win. That's all you're doing. You're guaranteeing failure because you're denying the one thing that makes failure avoidable. Intelligence, knowledge, understanding. And you're just going to keep pretending. You're going to keep finding some loophole, some bullshit thread to pull to undo the weave of intelligence, because you just don't want it to exist, because it's going to honestly tell you things you don't want to hear. Bastards. So anyway, enough of the video. Fuck.